Hello there. It is Monday, June 28th, 2021, and I'm standing here in Millennium Park right in front of the Bean. And it's a momentous day because I have finally reached 100 subscribers on my YouTube channel. So I'm gonna do a little special video today where I actually show my face and talk a little bit. You might be wondering, why are you in Chicago? I thought you lived in Austin, Texas. Well, I just moved up here. I'm gonna be here for the summer. And I'm actually doing a job here in Millennium Park with the Grant Park Music Festival. But I do anticipate being back in Austin after the summer. But yeah, this is actually the first video I'm recording here, and I'm really excited to explore the city more. I'm from Illinois originally, but I haven't really lived in Chicago proper before, so I haven't had much of a experience exploring the city. So hopefully I'm gonna have a lot of time to do that. I will be working a lot, but I'm gonna try to make a lot of time to do some more exploring, make some videos here as well. And yeah, I'm really excited to reach 100 subscribers. I would love to actually grow my channel and get a real viewership on this. I know that most of the views on my videos don't come from my subscribers, just from my analytics I see. But if you're someone who watches my videos regularly and you're subscribed to me, definitely let me know. And also, if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. I post a lot of videos of me just walking around, so if that's the kind of stuff you're into, definitely check it out. Let me know if there's also like a specific kind of content that you like to do. I'll talk a little bit about the background of why I created this channel in the first place. So about a year ago, a little over a year ago actually, I broke my leg. So that was the beginning of April 2020, right after the pandemic had kind of really gone into full swing here in the United States. So I had just lost my job, I broke my leg, I was bedridden for 2 months, and I was really sad about that because I couldn't get out and at least enjoy the warmer weather. I mean, I guess if I was stuck inside, at least I wasn't alone because everyone else was also quarantined, but I literally could not even get out of bed without it being so excruciatingly painful on my leg. And I, at that point, kind of discovered this world on YouTube where people would post videos of them walking around different interesting places or taking trains in Japan or France, and it allowed me to, in a way, explore the world without actually leaving my bed. And something I'm really passionate about is exploration and walking, biking, hiking, getting out and seeing different things. So that kind of was an inspiration to me and something I really enjoyed during that really hard time. And a few months later, I kind of got the inspiration to start making that kind of video myself, because I am a very nostalgic person, and I found myself looking up, walks around Washington, D.C. or Urbana-Champaign or Aspen, Colorado, all places that I've lived before, because I want to look back at places I have been before and think about my memories there. So the idea came to me. I'm going on all these long walks anyway. What if I just started recording them myself, and then I would always have that footage to look back at and remember when I lived there, when I walked around there. So this is first and foremost a project for me to be able to have these videos for myself to look back at down the line. And I already have kind of started doing that from my videos from like months ago. I've had this channel since around the end of September last year, so I've been doing it for quite a while. And I really enjoy doing it. This is like just a little hobby I have started, a little personal project, but I really get a lot of enjoyment from it. It's just a very low effort way of creating something and feeling productive, and then also, like I said, I really value having these videos to look back at, and I know I'm going to value them even more like years down the line. So that's kind of the background of why I started this channel. Yeah, now I'm walking under the bean, so we can all appreciate this together. See if we can see my reflection. There I am. Pretty special. I think it's cool. I get to walk by here every day on my way to work. And it's, yeah. That's the Bean, or Cloud Gate. And then here we have Michigan Avenue that goes right along this long stretch of park here. So I'm thinking now I'll probably just walk down and walk around the loop for a while. This might just go until my camera dies. I'm not sure how much charge I have on here or memory space on my SD card, so we're gonna find out. Yeah. I've kind of talked a little bit about the genesis of this channel. Now I want to talk a little bit about where I want to take this channel in the future. Like I mentioned earlier, I do want to try to get consistent viewership on here. Start having more than just you know, 50 views on my videos, and actually get more people to watch them. Like I said, it is first and foremost just for my own enjoyment, at least for now. But it would be nice, considering I do put some effort into making these videos, editing them, to get some other people's eyes on them. Some inspirations for me, like other people who make these kinds of videos, would be Nomadic Ambience and then Action Kid and Johnny Strides. And their content is more so narrated walks. Action Kid in New York City and Johnny Strides in Toronto. And they have people tune in while they talk about different places they're exploring. And they do live streams where people can watch and enjoy walking along with them, which just seems fun to me. So that's definitely something I would like to start doing. I feel like I need to practice walking and talking more before I get to that point. I'll have to listen back to this after I finish this video and see how okay this sounds, because I'm not totally confident in my speaking voice. But we will see about that. Yeah. So anyway, if you are someone who's watching this and you have any kind of interest in this kind of content, definitely let me know, like, what are things that you enjoy, things that you would suggest I try to do more so in these videos. I want to start really immersing myself in the places I live and learn about the community, so I can actually have an authoritative knowledge of something and I can talk about it when I walk around there, instead of just exploring and saying like, oh, this looks cool, I don't know what this is, but very interesting. Yeah. It's most of what I wanted to cover. Now I think for the rest of this video, I'm just gonna walk around and talk about what I'm seeing, exploring the loop, and we'll see where we end up. Also, I'll apologize now if the audio is terrible on this. I am not using a microphone outside of this camera, so it might be really windy. It might also start raining later, but that's just how it's gonna be. This is also a new camera. I got a DJI Osmo Pocket. I don't think the quality is quite as good as my GoPro, but this camera is a lot smaller and inconspicuous compared to the GoPro and gimbal that I've been using regularly. That camera actually is broken, so I'm in the process of trying to return that, and I've got this camera. I was kind of putting my eye out on getting a new camera for a while, so when that camera stopped working, it kind of just made sense to get this one.
Use the French practice.
This right here is the Washington and Wabash station on the Metro, or the L. And this is the stop where I get off to go to work. And as you can see up there on that sign, the orange line, green line, purple, pink, brown, all stop here. And the neighborhood I currently live in is Garfield Park, so I take the green line out from the west, east into the loop from there, and get off here at Washington and Wabash.
Well, hopefully we'll see what's happening.
Got something interesting here. It says Chicago Landmark District, Jewelers Row. Since the early 1900s, Jewelers Row has been an important center of jewelry, silver, and watch manufacturing and trade. These distinguished loft buildings and early 20th century skyscrapers also reflect the development of Chicago commercial architecture. Very interesting. I love when towns and cities put these little historical signs around. Just to learn a little bit about the area you're walking through. Right, crossing Washington Street now. right, and we're just making our way down Wabash Avenue. I do think that this gimbal is a little bit more jerky when I move it around, so I need to get used to that. The gimbal I use with my GoPro it's pretty smooth. Like it'll move a little bit slower. This is a little bit more instant. If I want to quickly look over at something, it's easier to do that, but it's also maybe a little less smooth. Taco Bell now hiring. Text Deeza at 85,000. All right. So up here is Lake Street. Back in 2016, I actually used to work in that building right there, past the car park. Forget what the address is. It might be 70 East Lake Street. And I interned at the Chicago Sinfonietta right after my freshman year of college. And now I go by there on this train every day. Pretty wild, man. But we're gonna continue on this way so we can see the river. Stand right in the middle of the bike lane right here. All right.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So right ahead of me here, this big tall building is Trump Tower. You can probably tell by the big white letters reading Trump right there. Pretty impressive building, regardless of what you may think of the individual it's named after. And there's this cool church here. I forget what the church is. Something Church of Christ, it looks like. So it's really called the 17th Church of Christ. I did not realize there were that many churches of Christ. But this here is the intersection of Wabash and Wacker. I know Wacker is an interesting road because it actually kind of curves around through the city along the river. Which, speaking of, we're right at the river now, so we can walk along the river, walk a little bit. Let's take a look at this statue here. What does that say? Robert Morris, George Washington, and Haym Salomon. Okay. Not sure who the two guys on the outside are, but that's interesting. And we've got a couple more iconic Chicago buildings back here. I don't actually know what the real name of these are, but I always just call them the corn cob buildings. Very unique look to them. And there's the river. like we've got some kind of war memorial here, a little fountain. Yeah, let's continue along the river. So here's a story. I'm just like walking, like thinking, what should I be talking about right now? And I remembered I do have something kind of related to the channel. So I love walking, I love biking, getting outdoors and exploring. I got a bike rack for my Pontiac Grand Prix car so I could bring my bike all the way up here from Austin, Texas. Hooked it up to my car, put my bike on, made it all the way up here. That whole like 2-day trip didn't fall off once, thank God. And then the second day I was here, someone stole the wheel off of my bike, which is tragic. I should have known better. I'm actually staying at an Airbnb right now in Garfield Park, like I said, which is known as a very crime-addled neighborhood. So, like I said, I should have known better, but I asked my Airbnb host, like, do you think it'd be better if I walked it up the apartment, or would it be fine out here, like in the yard, locked up? He's like, oh, it'll be fine out here. Second day I'm here, someone steals the wheel off of it. So that's pretty tragic, but I'm gonna try to get a new wheel on it this week. The sad thing is, like, the bike was a couple $100s. It might be almost that much to get the wheel replaced, which at that point I'm like, should I just get a new bike? After going to all the trouble of lugging it all the way up here from Texas. I don't know, we'll see. But I definitely want to get that figured out soon, because there's so many cool places to bike, and that just makes it so much faster to get around the city as well. But yeah, if anyone has any suggestions on places in Chicago to get your bike fixed, let me know.
I'll come to you. We're right. That's why I think that like I have a train stop is like a 5-minute walk from me now. That's why it's like yeah. And like I mean they live on the road, yeah. The cultural center is the old. Yeah, that's time. Like I've been on the T, like the first on the T, that's a lot of the day. That's where like my roommate actually.
This is really cool. I'm excited to be here. Even though it is kind of sad leaving Austin behind after I was just kind of getting myself established there. I'm really excited. And a big part of that is just for the reason that I now get to explore all these new places that I haven't really had the opportunity to do before. We've got the bridge at Dearborn Street. I'm not even sure what this river is. I know the Des Plaines River goes through Chicago somewhere, and this river splits into 2 branches, so I don't know. But I do know that way is Lake Michigan. So right now we are walking to the west. Maybe at some point I'll hop on the train and we can head back to Garfield Park as well. Glad it's not raining. I was afraid it was going to be raining really hard when I got out of work today. But luckily not, so I can make this video now. Not have to worry about getting soaked. It's been kind of gloomy like this ever since I got here last week. Which I'm not too mad about. When I left Austin, it was like getting up to the high 80s every day. Now I think it's like always above 90, and it's even hot at night. So I think I got out just in time. And I'm actually having some cool weather up here. Even though it does get pretty hot in Chicago, it does not compare to the temperatures you're gonna see in Texas. So, you know, I would love to live in a city like Chicago. I like, it's got a bit more density and actually has trains, unlike Austin and any other Texas city. It gets so cold for most of the year, it's just unbearable to me. I would rather it be too hot than too cold. So it's nice that I get to spend a summer here in the ideal time when it's actually fun to go outside and do things. And there are so many cool things to do outside in Chicago, like the Riverwalk here. The last time I was here, I don't remember these like reflective walls being here. I think this is to stop people from climbing up on the bridges. That's an interesting new addition I haven't seen before. Don't know if you can hear this tour guide right here. He's talking about how Chicago's the third largest city in the United States, and pretty soon Houston's gonna take it over. If you ever go to visit Chicago, I do recommend taking one of these architecture boat tours. They're super cool and very interesting. I'm probably gonna try to do that with some friends later on this summer.
Kills about 3,000 people. We would rebuild the city though. By the late 1880s, we have 1 million people living here. And we redesigned.
But yeah, Chicago is actively losing population. And as it shrinks, cities in Texas are rapidly growing. So it really won't be long before Houston overtakes Chicago.
Years ago, all along the river, you'll see factories and warehouses. This is one of those original warehouses from Fort Simmons. Look at the top of the Park Tower. Wristwatches in the early 1900s were considered.
There we go. See, this guy, he's got so much knowledge. Maybe I should like get a job doing tours here. Give me an opportunity to learn a lot more about all this stuff that I have no idea about. I do remember learning about this big long building right up there on the right side of the river. I think it's called Merchandise Mart or Merchandise something Merchandise. I'm not actually totally sure, but I do know it's like just an enormous building for how wide it is. It kind of takes up like an entire city block. So that's kind of interesting. I like to go in there and explore because they have like lots of shops and stuff all around. Yeah, I do wish I had more time to go out and do things because I am working like a lot, like crazy hours in my seasonal job here, and also still working part-time as an accountant's assistant. So trying to find all the time I can to get out and do this because there is so much to see, definitely more than I'll be able to in the next 2 months, but I'll get as much as I can of the Chicago experience in that time. You can count on that. I'm curious what this yellow thing is up here. It says Life Ring. Is this like a flotation device for someone if they fall in the river? Let's investigate. That's what it looks like. Interesting, interesting, okay. Got some pride flags up here. It is June still for a couple more days, so happy Pride. I went out to Boys Town for the first time this past weekend with a couple of my friends. It was a lot of fun. I have to do a video out there as well. We went to this bar called Sidetracked. It was giant, had like lots of bars like within the bar, multiple stories. There's like a outdoor patio. It was pretty cool. I like a very large building to explore. And we had a lot of fun just going out, drinking, dancing. Stuff I haven't been able to do, or really anyone's been able to do for most of the past year. So it's pretty cool. And I feel pretty lucky that I'm in a place where we're able to do that stuff again. I really do love the L as a iconic landmark within Chicago. It's so cool just having trains above ground, being able to see things and also just see the trains as well. But riding in the train, being able to go over the river, see things outside, it's so cool. Even though the CTA in general isn't, you know, a world-class train system for a city, I'm learning that like already just being here for a week. It's kind of like all the trains go in from outer neighborhoods into downtown. So if I'm trying to get from where I live out in the west in Garfield Park up to the north, to Edgewater or Boys Town or Evanston, instead of going directly there diagonally, I have to go into downtown, then up, because there's no rails that kind of connect the neighborhoods to each other. They all just kind of go downtown. So I was meeting a friend up in, you know, a northern neighborhood. I can't even remember where exactly, but looking at how long it would take to drive, it would be like 10 minutes. Taking my bike, which was broken at the time, so I couldn't do that, would be 20 minutes. And then taking transit, my only options were to do 2 buses and transfer. And that was a 40-minute ride that turned into like a 55-minute ride because one of the buses just didn't show up. So comparing that to back when I lived in DC, that was much nicer because there are actually some trains, at least like in the central part of the city, that connect to different neighborhoods instead of just all going to one centralized location. If that makes sense. Yeah. How's this going? Is this something I should do in the future? Like, is it good that I'm like talking, or does that take away? I did have someone comment saying that they preferred it when I just have the natural ambient sounds in the video, and I really like that too. Also, like, I have a couple videos from when I lived in Champaign-Urbana where I narrated the walks, and listening to those back, I can't do it for too long because I just cringe so much at the sound of my voice. So I really want to be able to watch these back and enjoy them and not be able, not just be thinking about how annoyed I am with myself talking the whole time. But I don't know, I feel like this is a good way to get more people interested in my videos. I don't know. Let me know what you think. So right here where the river's getting really wide is where it kind of branches off into different rivers. Or maybe branches together. Makes more sense. Cannot really tell what direction the river is flowing, and it kind of looks like it's just not flowing at all. Something about Austin that I came to understand when I lived there is the Colorado River goes through Austin, but there's a dam toward the east side of the city that really makes it so it's not flowing at all, or just kind of like, you know, slightly leaking out over the weirs. So people usually just refer to it as Lady Bird Lake, even though it's very much shaped like a river. It is technically also a lake. So you can actually, you know, get on there with a boat or a paddleboard and go around and not really feel any kind of current. But aside from that, it just looks like a river. But it's just a very long lake. Is this interesting? I don't know what I'm saying. These people look like they're having a great time. This yacht right here, that looks awesome. Yeah. Not sure how much longer I'll continue this. I think what I'm gonna do next is get on this bridge here at Lake Street and just get on the next train station, because this will let me get on the Green Line and I can head back to Garfield Park. And then maybe we'll end the video out there. I hope you are enjoying this. Thank you so much for subscribing, and if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing or commenting and letting me know what I could do to make my videos more appealing. Got another one of those life rings right there. Got a sign for the Riverwalk. Open 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. And got some ADA access information. Very cool, very cool. Oh no, this is a cool bridge here. I love this. Got a view of where we just walked from back there. See, there's a Metro train crossing right up there. If you're not familiar with Chicago transit systems, there's the L train, which would be like this elevated train right here. Those kind of run around the city neighborhoods. And then you also have the Metra, which is a commuter train that services outer suburbs so they can get into the city. The L operates on like a flat fare system, so you just pay $2.50 to get on the train, get off wherever you get off, it's the same price. On the Metra, you just get on one line and it'll be a different fare depending on how far you go. Yeah, we'll have to see how good the audio on this is. I'm not sure if you can hear me when there's the loud train and traffic noises going by. More Metro trains down there, crossing at that intersection. Looks like we've got our station here. We're gonna go ahead and go up here and try to catch the next green train that comes by. We got that emergency vehicle there, not sure what's going on. Someone got in a bike accident maybe. Give them their privacy. I sure hope they're okay. Yeah. Let's see, can I enter here? Okay, this is not even an entrance, this is an exit only. Okay, so this is me exploring, figuring things out. I cannot enter there. How do I get into the station? This is the Clinton station, services the green and pink lines. And we're gonna have to figure out how to get in. Try the other side of the street.
And also keep this in mind.
All right, here we go. Never been to this station before, except for when I'm going right by it on my way to work. So I'll just take my Venture card, scan it right there, and I'll go right through. And like I said, it's one flat fee. So you just scan it once on your way in, and then you just leave on the way out. In DC, their metro, you have to scan on the way in and on the way out, because similar to the commuter trains here, it's a different fare depending on how far you go. In Chicago, New York City, both the same, it's just a flat fee. Scan once on the way in and go wherever you want. So it's kind of fun here, this little walkway up to the platform. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long for the next train to come. It is rush hour right now. And let me find my masks. Masks are still required on the CTA, on the buses as well as the trains. Despite the fact that Chicago at this point has fully reopened with their coronavirus safety precautions. All right. So we're here at the end of the platform. This is actually where I want to be to get off in Garfield Park, so this is good. The westbound trains go to Harlem. That's the final stop there, if you can see that sign. And the other direction goes to Ashland and 63rd, which is south of the loop. Well, I'm actually gonna set the camera down for a second so I can put my mask on and see if I can get this to sit right here. Alrighty. So, please do leave me feedback. I feel like I'm just like talking awkwardly while I get around, not really knowing what I'm saying. But like I said, I'm considering doing more of this kind of video in the future, so let me know if this is good or if it's not, ways I can improve it, because I'd be very interested in that feedback. Anyway, we're just gonna continue to wait here for the train. There's actually this handy little sign right here. It tells me that the train is 2 minutes away. There's another one in 9 minutes. Pink Line 12. Pretty high tech. You can already see some lights of the train all the way down there. We've got one coming in from the west as well. Whew. You can actually see the Willis Tower right there, formerly the Sears Tower. It's the tallest building in Chicago. Some people still will say it's the tallest building in the country, which is more commonly accepted to be the Freedom Tower in New York City, the New World Trade Center, the One World Trade Center. Technically, you can get on a higher floor, a higher elevated floor in this tower than that one, but that one is taller if you include the spire. So, we got this train coming in here. And there's our train coming in as well. Alrighty.
Doors closing. Morgan is next. Doors open on the right at Morgan.
Don't want to talk too much on the train just to be polite to the other riders, but we'll get a good view out here. Facing south right now as we head west. See all that rush hour traffic.
This is Morgan. This is a Green Line train from Harlem and Lake. Doors closing. Ashland is next. Doors open on the right at Ashland. Transfer to Pink Line trains at Ashland. Standing rest.
It kind of looks like the camera is tilting a little bit, and I wonder if that's because the movement of the train is confusing it and making it think that it's not flat when it really is. I can't really tell. Actually got some clear blue skies out there now.
This is Ashland. transfer to mainline trains at Ashland. This is a Green Line train. Harlem today. Doors closing. California is next. Doors open on the right at California. Priority seating is intended for the elderly and passengers with disabilities. Your cooperation is requested. Please be considerate when talking to the people listening to all ambulances so as not to disturb other drivers. This is California.
We're in California.
Doors closing.
There's actually a stop on this train called Austin. So I could take this train all the way back to Austin if I wanted to.
Doors closing.
Let's watch those doors close. Oh. Something is amiss.
Person that's standing in the door, are you waiting on somebody? Are you waiting on a wheelchair?
There's someone standing in the door apparently somewhere.
Doors closing.
Next time, push the PIU button and let them know that you are waiting on a wheelchair. That way I know what we're standing for. Thank you.
Interesting. Good to know.
Doors open on the right at Taxi.
So it seemed like there was someone standing in the doorway because they were waiting on someone in a wheelchair to get on the train. And what the conductor just said was, in the future, there's like a button to press to let them know that's happening instead of just standing in the doorway like that. So the next stop is Kedzie, and then after that it'll be Garfield Park.
This is Kedzie. Doors closing. Conservatory Central Park Drive is next.
That's my stop.
At Conservatory Central Park Drive.
And it's nice and sunny now. Wow. So this is my neighborhood, good old Garfield Park. The station is actually called, I think, Conservatory Central Park. So we got the big park back there to the south of the station. I'm gonna walk north actually, since we're already on this side of the street. I walk past the Garfield Park Conservatory, which I would love to visit soon. You can see it right there. Alright, starting to get nice and warm actually now. Pretty nice. Looking forward to getting home in the AC, eating dinner. Forgot to bring my lunch for like the 4th time in a row today. But I got my leftovers in my fridge, looking forward to that. Eating my Kung Pao chickpeas. Yeah, let's get a look here of the Garfield Park Conservatory. Some pretty plant life right outside. I'm sure there's a lot more inside to see. There you got it. And I do walk by this every day on my way to the train, which is pretty special. I'm not going to go all the way to my apartment because I don't want to give away to the 100 of you where I live exactly. But yeah. You know, we've been going at this for about an hour now. I think I'm gonna wrap the video up. Like I said, thank you so much if you've subscribed. If you're not subscribed, thanks for watching anyway. Consider subscribing. Leave me your feedback. I'd love to hear from you. especially if you like regularly watch my videos. I'm really curious like how many people actually do that. But yeah, I want to continue with this. It's something that really gives me a lot of pleasure and enjoyment, making these videos, watching them back, editing them, all of that. So looking forward to where I get to take this channel in the future. Yeah, so hope you're all doing well. What's to come in the next few weeks on this channel, I recorded some videos during my trip up from Texas to Chicago. So I got some videos in Arkansas, some videos in St. Louis and Southern Illinois. So we'll have that, and then I'm sure I'm gonna start recording a lot more videos here in the city. So that's what we got. And if you like really enjoying the Austin, Texas content, that's gonna be coming back in the fall because I will be back in September. So that's what you got. All right, but goodbye for now, and thank you so much for watching.